Hello, I am Joe McDonald, and this is Big Mac's Battle Blog. And so, what have we been up to today? Well, today we went to Polygon training ground, quite far away from Kherson, and we took our big drone, Baba Yaga, Kazan. It's a adapted agricultural drone that's had a bunch more stuff done to it by Ukrainian drone engineers, and we did some test flying with that, and it all went very well. So again, thanks to Tom, our big American donator. So that's thanks to the you guys who sent me money that I put in I think it was about $9,000 I put into that. So almost 50% of that drone you guys paid for. Tom paid for the rest, and I suppose I've paid for a bit more as well with the extra components. So that thing's impressive. Can drop like a whole anti-tank mine with pinpoint accuracy from really high up, and it's got a significantly further range than the standard Mavic or something we'd use. So that's pretty cool. Then yeah, we also got to do a bunch of shooting today. Got my thermal tuned in even finer. Was only shooting out to 100 meters, basically just because of time. But we'll go again soon and start doing some shots at 300 meters. Couldn't really do any filming today because of the where we were, just not allowed, which was a bit of a shame. Got to rattle off a couple of magazines fully automatic with the FAL. It's pretty controllable if you're prone or you've got the rifle rested on something and you're doing like a 3 to 5 round burst. It's still pretty damn controllable. We'll see how I feel about that at 300 meters though. But at 100 meters, yeah, you can drop 5 rounds in the same half meter or so of where you're aiming originally. So that was interesting. Got to play with the shotgun as well, which I haven't actually fired so far today. Surprisingly, gave a very good shot pattern out at 50 meters. We tested at 35 originally. That was, well, 25 and then 35 and then 50. And at 25 was easy, 35 was easy, 50 still like, yeah, that'll take an FPV out the air at 50 meters, which is impressive. But it's a bird gun. It's designed for shooting things that are flying, and it's got a nice long barrel. So I still maintain that that's a better choice for anti-drone, because you really only will get chance for like 1 or 2 shots because drones move quickly, than a tactical Mossberg or something like that. So yeah, it's cold here now in Kherson. As you see, I'm sporting, amongst other layers, British Army issue Woolly Pulley, which I'm very glad that one of my volunteers sent me. Thank you. Thank you, Matlow. Yeah, like Ukraine's one of these countries that doesn't really seem to have, like, I mean, spring and autumn exist. There is a no leaves on the trees and then some leaves on the trees period. And now we're in technically autumn, and it's there's the leaves are falling off the trees, but the temperature change comes savagely and suddenly. Like 10 days ago it was shorts and vest, and anything more than that, if you even put on like thin trousers and a long sleeve shirt, you'd be sweating like profusely. And then literally about 5 days ago, it just went to like, I went from sleeping basically naked, no blanket, haven't needed a blanket for months and months and months, to like, oh God, I better get the real sleeping bag back out. It's horrible. So yeah, I guess it's a British thing to complain about the weather, but yeah, it's a bit of a shock to the system, really, after it being like above 40 degrees for weeks at a time this summer. So yeah, You know, if you do know anyone in Ukraine and you fancy sending them and their mates some wool socks, they'd appreciate it, I'm sure. You know, or any charities that you support that send stuff to Ukraine. Real wool socks, not hand knitted fucking acrylic ones, real wool socks. The boys will appreciate that. As well as merino long johns and stuff like that. You know, do something for the wool farmers as well. You know, so yeah, you know, a little bit of a shock to the system. In other news, yeah, I'm a little bit worried about the dog at the moment. He was fine this morning, and you know, he got up, took him for a walk. He had a poo, normal poo. He had his breakfast, and then you know we went off, and we went off to this training ground, and I had to keep him on the leash, you know, sort of 30 meters or so back from where we're doing the shooting, to you know protect his ears, make sure he doesn't get in the way, and yeah. After a while, he was just whining and whining. I thought, well, maybe he's cold. So, you know, I took him for a little walk around because he doesn't like to wee when he's on the lead for like chains or something, as it were, for some reason. Took him for a little walk around, let him have a wee, put him in the car. And when I got back in the car, like an hour or so later for us to go home, there's this fucking smell. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And he's been sick. And then we get back to Kherson, and so on the way back, he's sick again and he's shit a little bit. So we pulled into a gas station. It's like, oh fucking hell, clean this up, right? And he's never ever done that before. And then you know we get back to Kherson, and he's again, and it's like I can only describe his being sick as like projectile vomiting. You know, he's the back of the car's like fuck. It's a new car, by the way. Thank you to Jeeps for Peace, great charity based in the UK that have furnished me with a nice pickup truck that's really good, and it's yeah, really good motor. Thank you, Jeeps for Peace. But yeah, the back seat's fucking fucked now. Basically, you know, I've done the best I can with wet wipes, but I think I'm going to try and find a professional car cleaner somewhere in Kherson, someone who's got a wet vac and fancies like getting that out of the seats, because like Jesus fucking Christ. So you know, I got him home, and he's on the way up the stairs. I heard this noise, and he's had like a liquid shit on the stairs. So I was like, oh fuck's sake! And we had a power cut at the time, so the lights are out. So I get him into the flat, you know, put him out on the balcony, whack the emergency pack of paper towels down, leave him there, you know, make sure he has some fresh water, go to clean up on the stairs, and in the torchlight I could see there's little spots of blood in it. And just before I'd got back, me commander had showed me a message saying everyone should be extra careful, don't buy any food or accept any food from strangers or volunteers unless you know them. The Russians, you know, intelligence is told that the Russians are going to try and poison people. And I'm like, right, well, I mean, that's happened before quite a few times, and it has, you know, I don't know whether it's been covered in Western media, but it's been covered in Ukrainian media. Like some soldiers have been poisoned by Russian agents in Ukraine over the last year or so. And I don't want to go into too much detail with this, but I I bought some meat the other day from a place where I often buy meat, and I always buy the same cut of meat there. And I just cut some off this morning and gave it to him. And like I didn't eat any. I haven't eaten any of that cut of meat yet. And a little bit of me is like paranoid, you know, like fuck, have they got to the people who work there? Like, you know, was that intended for me? Um, but he seems fine now. You know, he's drank some water. My flatmate came home. He was like really, really excited and happy to see me flatmate. So, you know, and when I took him out for boss brought some anti-nausea medicine by for the dog, and I took him out then to see if he needs to go to the toilet again, and he's like seemed to have loads of strength. So hopefully it was just he's eating something funny off the floor. But like that's again, it's never happened before that. He's never shit in the car. I've seen him sick up yellow bile once or twice, but that's usually like when he like some dog biscuits I got him he just didn't like at all, so he was just sort of like he wouldn't eat them, and apparently like it's called empty stomach syndrome. But it's always just been like randomly he'll sick up a bit of yellow bile and then it won't happen again. And it was around the time I was eating these crappy dog biscuits. So, you know, he seems fine. Got an appointment at the vet's in the morning. Vet says it might just be parasites, you know, but it just seems like, you know, like bad timing, I guess, has made me a little bit. And I love him. I worry about him. You know, it'd break my heart if one sock died. So yeah. On the other hand, I would kill everyone who worked at that place I buy meat. They'd all have to die if they poisoned my dog, like John Wick rules. Fuck it. That's definitely a joke and not serious. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so you know, hopefully the dog will recover. He's sleeping away right now. I'm going, you know, wrapped up in 2 blankets. I'm going to check on him through the course of the night when my 41-year-old bladder makes me get up every 3 or 4 hours because that's life now. So yeah, that's about it. So yeah. Anyway, should be doing some more interesting stuff tomorrow. I'll keep you posted. Got an idea to make some more videos about kit and some another video about you know what it takes to stay serving in Ukraine. Anyway, goodbye from me, Joe McDonald at Big Mac's Battle Blog, and as always to our pro Russian and Vatnik listeners, Idi Noise Looper.